I don't know how to describe it other than like a demon type of sound.
But it's silhouetted, hulking, every bit of 5.5 feet wide, 13 to 14 foot tall, pitch black.
The one thing that ran through my mind when I had this encounter was I don't have a big enough gun.
Your host, two-time witness and field researcher for more than 40 years, William Jevning. Welcome to Creek Devil.
Okay, Tony, tell me about how long ago was it that the Sasquatch ran across you on the road?
Ran across what?
You said you had a Sasquatch sighting where it ran across the road?
Yeah, well, I had several Sasquatch sightings.
Okay.
Let's
start in the beginning then.
Okay, first one, I was coming out of South Carolina, coming back from a load over there on I-85, heading southwest, heading towards Georgia and Atlanta. And I was heavy downpour rain, and I just come out of the rain. The rain was heading west, and I was going southwest. I was coming out of it. And as soon as I got out of the rain, I had my windshield wipers clean off the window, and I was looking down my gauges in the semi, and then I seen something in my peripheral vision to the right, and as soon as I looked over, this thing ran down the embankment, and then cut alongside the road in the grass. I ran alongside the interstate, headed the same way I was, right alongside my semi. It was every bit as tall as my cab was, and colors reddish brown color, and I described it as real long hair, the back of the head and neck, short hair all over the body, and like a long type wavy hair along underneath the arms. It had real long arms, and this thing was running alongside me, and the way them hills are right there in that area, along mile marker 11 on I-85, Oconee County, Fairplay, South Carolina, they're up and down, and I think I was just coming over top of the hill. I started down the other side, and this thing is it's just running so fast that the hair on the back of the head and the neck was straight back, like somebody on a motorcycle.
Sure.
But it looked like it was running with ease, you know. And I mean, it was peeled back. It wasn't waving up and down. This thing wasn't running, you know, as it moved up and down. I mean, it was running straight. And just gliding. I mean, this thing was running real fast. And I hit the brakes. I knew a car was behind me. I hit the brakes a little bit. I slowed down a little bit. I knew I could get away with slowing down a little bit, and they wouldn't say nothing. And I slowed down a little bit, and then I kind of like backed off of a little bit, and this thing just right out along the front there. I mean, it stayed out there for a while, and until my semi started catching up with it, because I didn't know where the traffic was behind me or on the side of me, coming behind me at that point. And I knew I was going slow. I didn't know if I could slow down even more. And I gained up on it. I must have followed it at least a couple 100 foot. And then I gained up on it, and then it was just right there next to my bumper. And even when I first seen it, it was like, what's it running to, or running away from the rain, or running to, you know, what's it running to, like maybe, I don't know what was up ahead, but this thing was, when I caught up to it, the bumper was right from the right. I was thinking, you know, if I just turn my steering wheel to the right, you know, I wasn't going to do that, but that's what I was in my head. You know, if I turned the steering wheel to the right, I just made, you know, to hit it. run over it or bump it or something like that, but I wasn't prepared to do that. And
you were pretty close to it
about
then.
that time, about that time, I don't know if it heard the truck or felt the vibration or knew how close it was, and then it cut right, went back up to the embankment and off into the woods. And I was the whole next half a mile. I was wanting to pull over along the side of the road. There really wasn't nowhere to pull a semi over along that. It's only 2 lanes and real tight merge lane down through there. And I was thinking in my head that, if I got out of the truck, that thing is huge. That thing's tall and fast. I had no protection, no pistol on me or nothing. And any small caliber wouldn't even phase it. And so I just kept on going, kept on going. And I got back into town. It was about another month. I had my carrying permit, bought me a 357. And I went back in that area. It was not too long after, maybe a week later. I went in that area, and it looked like a house nobody lived in, and I think the property was for sale. And then also there's a barn, a couple old storage buildings open, and a barn with the hay up there on the top. And in that area, a lot of woods all down through there. That was the first one. I knew it was October 2013, and days like that just ran in together and for a few days. So I really didn't have a date. I just knew it was early October 2013. And I seen several more as the years went by. I seen one was in Calhoun, Georgia, where I live, and me and my daughter was riding from up 225 going east, just east of the about a mile from I-75, and it looked as an old Indian place there. The Trail of Tears stuff started back into there. There was you go through there during the week and you pay, go down through there. See old buildings, first newspaper stuff, machine, and see hear stories about their court and stuff like that. Anyway, there's an entrance. There's only one entrance off that 225 there that's not blocked off, and it's going along this golf course on the left side. There's several acres just mowed down on the right side, and there's old buildings and stuff back through there. And along the tree line, I could see this black being standing there with black hair all over it. It's pretty tall. It's about 7 foot, I'm guessing. And he had a big bulge in his belly. It looked like it just ate gorged itself on something. His belly is poking out there. And didn't have no breast or nothing, so I was thinking, this thing just ate something. And it had big, huge black eyes just standing there about 3 foot off the tree line. And this thing is stood there. I told my daughter, I said, there's one right there, there's one. I was pointing at it, and she didn't look when I told her to. And this thing was missing hair alongside the body, and a shoulder, I think alongside the head, the shoulder, and the body, and on just one side there. And days later, I thought about this thing has probably been, its belly's been that way for a while. That's the way it's been laying on that one side.
Mm-hmm.
And it didn't look muddy or anything. It just looked like it's missing hair on that side, spread out. But I pulled in to the entrance. It was gated off. It was closed. And I had my pistol and a cell phone for video. getting out of the car real quick. I was going to head straight back there to it. My daughter's hysterical. No, get back in the car and take me to Mom's house. So I just got back in the car, took her up the road, and the Mom's house, come back. Went in, I couldn't find it. I hiked that area, and I couldn't find it. And there's 2 other sightings I had on I-85. I've had one in Georgia, South Carolina, and North Carolina, all on I-85, and within a couple years span. And I skipped to the one in Georgia on I-85. I was leaving early. I was coming up through there early. It's probably about say 8 or 9 o'clock. The sun was up, and traffic was real slow. And I mean, it was back to back. We was moving along. I mean, it's 85 or 65 mile an hour probably. Right there, Jefferson, Georgia. There's a huge flea market over that area. River run down through there. A lot of wood area, and both sides of the road. And we run along with the traffic, and then right there's a bridge there, and I was heading northeast, and on this I-85, and as soon as I come out from underneath that bridge, I went underneath, and I looked over to the left. I mean, you couldn't miss it. That's one of the things I was like, anybody else see this? It's hysterical. I mean, this thing was standing there on the side of the bank. It's on the southbound off ramp, and it was up the bank, right above it. It's about about 80 to 100 foot bank right there, and it's standing up on the top of it. This thing was, I guess it was about 8 or 9 foot. It was black. It was pretty good size. And it was just standing there like a statue. I mean,
Just watching traffic.
It was just standing there, and I was like, it wasn't moving his head or nothing. I mean, I was just like, I got the impression that this is, I'm the king. I mean, this is how much of a, gusto or, whatever that I got. I'm just standing here, right here in front of everybody. I mean, and I'm just shaking my head left and right. I just can't believe it. Anybody see this, And it wasn't about 400, 500 foot. I mean, I'm talking to the next hill, and I had to move along the traffic. All the exits down through there are at least 10 miles, till the next exit. And 10, 15 miles, and I was spread out down through there. And I had come back through there maybe, a week later, a couple weeks later. Then I parked at a truck stop that was not too far down that road. And I walked up all that area, and I seen some, right up there where it was, I seen a bunch of pine trees, and the branches ripped off on different trees, on different sides of trees. One might be hanging, and the other one might be just completely ripped off and just laying right there next to the tree. So what in the wind, these pretty good sized branches. And there's on, opposite sides of the trees and stuff down through there. There's just a few of them. And I hiked a lot of that area. I didn't find anything else. And there's another one, that's the Georgia one, the South Carolina one I told you about, the first one. And on up further in North Carolina, I was heading southbound there on that I-85. And it was right there at Bessemer City. I think it's mile marker 13 or 11 there. And I was moving along, and this big power line clearing. I mean, this thing's about 300 foot wide. I mean, it goes way up the mountains up through there on the right, on the north side of the interstate. And I think it's got a power line station there, right below there. And I was looking over, and this thing looked like a kid. But, I mean, it didn't have no clothes. It was all black, head to toe, from fingertip to fingertip. And it wasn't skin. This was fur.
Sure.
It was running down the power line. It was black. It ran down the power line, and then it went, it was going south down the power line, and then it ran west, like a hill shape, but kind of rounded off, you know, kind of went down and just cut west, and then went into the power line. It looked like he was having fun. It looked like he was having a good time. I mean, I got the impression he was probably smiling or, you know, having a good time. And so I went on past the first station. I said, hey, there's something going back. Went back and turned around. I was back in the semi. Went back. And I got up there and at the Bessemer City exit there, one of the exits there, and I pulled up. And there's a little, just north of there, right there, you get off the interstate, there's a store, a little store on the right, and then another building on the right shut down. But you go back in there, went back in there, there's a hotel back there. It shut down at the time, and I went back in that parking lot, parked the semi, and I locked it up. I went back in the woods. I was looking for it, and there's this whole woods down through there. There's like a big valley down through there, and like a gorge sort of, and all wooded. And the only thing I seen down there was a big deer. I think that thing might have been chasing that deer down in that valley there.
Sure.
And so I hiked around, looked around and everything, and never did see anything else besides that deer down in there. And I started to come back up the bank, up towards the hotel, and there's a kid that's coming down there with groceries from the store. And I told him the reason I was in there, what I seen in there. And he said, well, I was walking through the store the other day, something was throwing rocks at me, little pebbles. And,
interesting.
So I told him, you know, he said, you know, he watches Finding Bigfoot on TV and everything else. But that was, I went back several times, and I was trying to get up there, like, maybe towards the winter time, snow on the ground, maybe find some prints and everything. But I went up there one time that there's right above that area, there's a pretty good sized barn with hay all over. There's a loft up there, hay. There's a little tree that you can climb right in front of it. To get up in the loft, it looks like something's been up there laying down in the loft. And there's an old house that didn't have no windows. It looked like a hole was in the roof ceiling as I looked in the window. And I didn't see no prints anywhere. Then I looked in the barn, and it looked like something been laying on the top there in the hay. And I seen a print. It was full of water. It looked like a water puddle, but it's sort of shaped like a foot. So I put my fingers down in there. You could feel the impression of the toes. And I took a picture of it and put sticks around it, took a picture of it. I got it loaded up, put it on the wall at the house. And the other sighting I had was along the side of the interstate. It was on I-75, North Georgia. And I was riding along just about Chattanooga. There's a 24 split to the west. 75 goes to the east. I was on the 75 right below there, right before the ports off. I was looking to the power line to the right. Always looking through the wooded line, tree lines, everywhere. Sit up behind this semi and everything. That I can see it down into the power line clearing, but it's all growed up. A bunch of growed up weeds down through there. And they're clearing a space out at the time. It was going to be, it's now a Bass Pro Shop down there in that area up front. And but it was sitting in the whole wooded area right behind there. Got rivers and creeks, and on back a little bit further, there's a park where people play sports, and there's walking areas. We walk around. Big open area to have get-togethers, car shows and stuff like that, and it's a no hunting area. And it's right behind a rest area too on I-75. But anyway, I was looking off the side of the road there, and I could see this black being sitting in the high weeds back there, and it was looking towards the clearing and towards the interstate, and it was shaking its head erratically, back and forth, like it'd give somebody almost a whiplash. It just shaking his head back and forth, and never did stop. And I was like, that's not human. Humans don't do that. And so anyway, it was about a couple weeks later, I took the day off. I hiked up there about 35 miles above my house. So I drive up there and I hike all around through there, and there's footprints all over the side of the rivers. And I mean, somewhere you couldn't even step around. It's just prints everywhere. And so I take pictures of them and stuff, and then this toll company owner from Wisconsin, he calls me up, and he's going to fly in this area and fly into me. I'm going to take him to the area, and him, saying another guy rode up with, and something happened, something come up, and couldn't make it. And it was about a month later, he called, he said he's coming down. So he flew into Atlanta, and in the car and everything. We met up at a restaurant. They had some good drinks, went to another restaurant, had some steaks, and get to know each other a little bit. And the next day, he told me that he's going to bring a night vision scope. And so I looked up what he's going to bring. I looked it up on YouTube, figured out how to use it before he got down here. And you can see 100 yards of his night vision scope. Push a button, each time it goes in about 30 yards. Automatic zoom. All you got to do is push the button. You can see pitch black dark, like daylight, through the scope. And so the next morning, we went up to Chattanooga. We walked around. We was taking pictures of all these prints. And then we go to Chattanooga to eat. Go this Mexican restaurant, had a drink. We was waiting on it to get dark when we went in this area. And as soon as it got dark, they got black out there. We walked in to this trail, and we just got waiting in the woods. It was fairly quiet, walking in. I told him, I said, I don't want to carry any gun. I shot 45 at the time. I said, if anything happens, just get behind me, I don't know what the thing to do. This is my first time being here at night, and they're in here. And so we got in there. I was wanting to get him to this clearing along this trail where you can see way back in there. It's like it floods that area, and the trees just like gotten soft and like got down to practically nothing, and saw a lot of leaves out there, about a foot of them. It's all real soft out there. Not too many trees at all. Big clearing. And as soon as we got that clearing on that trail, we could look off the side, look all down through there. It was flooded, and there's water. We couldn't get off the trail there. We stood that trail, and I had brought a megaphone from Radio Shack, and I played some Bigfoot yells through my cell phone off of YouTube. I was playing this one that was recorded out in California, this Bigfoot yell. I was playing it there for a while, and we didn't get no response. But let me tell you this, I missed the part. We was walking in the woods. This guy that came with the old company owner, he slapped a tree with a stick. And back in that area, that's cleared off a little bit higher back in that area, but it slapped a tree with a stick too. It must have had a stick in his hand. That's how quick it slapped the tree. And so it slapped the tree again. They did that 3 times, each time responding with a tree knock. And we got back in there, and I told them, let's go through this clearing off. And we looked back in there to where it was. We was hearing them tree knocks response. We got back in there and couldn't see it. And so I started playing them Bigfoot yells through a megaphone and everything, and didn't get no response. And a guy that hits the tree with the stick, he yells with his hand. And he yelled with his hands. As soon as he did that, the one that did the tree knocks yelled. And same area. And just south of us, probably about 25, 30 yards, a little bit more. And it wasn't even a minute later, one yelled. He was on the north side of it. Everybody in the group, he was like, golly, this thing's huge. This thing yelled, he was probably about 70 yards out when he yelled. I mean, this thing sounded like a compression of an elephant.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it wasn't high pitched either. It's like a roar sort of. This thing was huge. You just tell it by the sound. This thing's huge. And so we were standing in the trail there for a long time, just looking at the scope, looking flashlight, and never did see the one south of us, never see the one right of us. Then it wasn't about 4 minutes later that I think it's the person that yelled. He was probably about 15 yards from us. You can hear him like a you can tell which way he was running.
Mm-hmm.
He was just running east to west, or west east. He was running west east, and he just run. You can tell where he was the whole time he was yelling. It's like a long yell.
Mm-hmm.
And we were standing there looking through a trail, because this trail goes that way too. Not too far from us. You can see all the way down that trail. And we didn't ever see it cross the trail or anything. And we stayed out there for a while. Then we started working our way out. We didn't get no more wood knocks or yells or anything. And we was working our way out of the trail. And sort of the way the big one ran. But we got back in that power line clearing. And the old comer, he was looking with the scope, and he seen that the giant. He said he sees it. He said the hair on the back of his back, staring, was standing up. He described the way he was feeling. He said this Bigfoot was leaning out of the tree line and leaning back in, leaning out, leaning back in. So trying to get a look at us and get back in the tree line. And he hands the scope to me, and I can't find it. There's a ditch runs along there to the creek there, and it probably went about 30 foot from us, 35 at the most, and it was in between us and the creek, in that tree line area, the power line area. It's straight up with grass, high grass, and weeds. And he handed the scope to me, and I couldn't find it. I was looking on the right side of that ditch on that creek, and I was looking back through that area, and I couldn't find it. But it was up against the tree line. And I handed the scope back to him, but I didn't see it. And then when he got the scope back, he couldn't find it. He wasn't there. So we left, and he wanted to ride back up there the next day. He was going to get a picture of him holding the stick up where he seen it. And I got that picture. And when we walked in that area, you could see where he had trampled his high weeds all the way down. Big area back into there. And I mean, he's holding a stick up. This property huge. I mean, he's holding a stick up way up, and I believe this thing was had to be just by the sound of the voice of it. And I still hike in that area a lot. And I was hiking that area one time on the opposite side of the interstate, and where I found some prints also. And so I was hiking the area. I was hiking it in the rain. I was thinking maybe I could sneak up on them. You know, they might not hear me. They might not expect me.
Mm-hmm.
And I know I'm looking for her. I'm trying to be quiet down through there. And this area, there's a lot of like four-wheel drives. Look like it just made trails on down through there. And so as soon as I got down there towards the creek next to that underpass that goes underneath that creek, goes underneath the interstate there, this thing looked like a big footprint, and looked like a big toe on the side of the foot. And I looked over next to the creek, and there's the other side of the foot. I mean, the other side of the print had at least, I'm saying, 12 to 15 foot from the other print next to the creek. And the print that was the first one I found right there, not too far there, it was full of water. And it was deep. And it's hard packed dirt. And so I found a cup, getting the water out of it, and I had some casting material on my trunk. I've done casting a lot of footprints on the other side of the interstate. So I go get my 96 Honda at the time, I think it was. And I go down through there and finally clearing and scrubbing, and I get this thing all back in there to where it's at. And I get that big bag of mixture out, my tools, my bucket, and everything. I mix it up. And I pour this plastic cast in the print. And I'm still thinking it's 1 foot. And there's old, I think there's an old car that was burned up or over there or wrecked, and on TV that's thrown out somehow got back, I guess, 4-wheel drive or whatever, I think. But anyway, I've got this pack off this TV, and I lay it over top of this print where the rain don't mess it up. It kind of dries a little bit because it's not raining that hard. And so I do that, and I wait. I'm still looking around the whole time. I've been looking around, keep an eye on everywhere in my back and everything while I'm doing this. And it's probably about 20 minutes later, I go over there and I grab something and I pry it up. And I carry this thing and to my trunk. Put it in my trunk, and I put a plastic garbage bag over it. That way the mud don't dry on it. And right before I found that print, let's get back this one that I found that same day. I took a picture of a tree branch that was broke. I was getting a selfie with it. And you can look in that picture and zoom in on it. You see the black head and the black shoulder standing right there next to the tree behind me, a little ways off behind me. And I think I was going to sneak up on it. It snuck up on me. And anyway, I got that cast, and I took it home. The next day, I think I went to work. Next day, I got off work. I took it, got a water hose, and I dragged it off. And it was actually 2 footprints. There's a very large one, and there's a smaller one right next to it. And looks like 1 footprint in the ground, but it's stamped right there next to it like the heels look together. And you can see the toes and everything. It's I think I measured it to 20 inches by 8 inches wide, right there below the toes on both sides, 8 inches wide, and 20 inches top to bottom. And the heel of it's huge. I think it's probably about 6-inch heel. And I took it to a Bigfoot museum opened up in Cherry Lawn, Georgia, and I showed them, and they had it there for a while. And I went and got it back, and I still got it today. And, I seen one other one down over there on I-75, below Calhoun there. There's got Chattanooga, the Calhoun siding, and there's one just below there. I was going to, I was early at work, sun was up, I was running late. And I was driving along the interstate, 75 there. And this thing, I was looking towards the bank on the left, and it was, you could see all them trees, in between all them trees all the way up through there. And this thing was black. It's probably, I'd say it's another juvenile. And this thing was, looked like it was hunched down a little bit, and it wasn't watching the interstate way. It was watching the other way, along on the other side of the mountain. Looked like it was stalking something, maybe. And I was really running late. I had to, it's a long ways. It's a all-day drive from there, South Carolina, North Carolina, where I was going and coming back. And I had to keep on moving. That's another side I had, and it was black. The only reddish brown one I seen was in South Carolina, in Oconee County. The big, it's probably about 10 foot. I'm guessing.
Let me ask you a question. I was curious, thinking about, when you saw the two run, did they always run on two legs, or did they ever go on four legs?
Every one of them ran on two legs.
On two
I
legs,
ain't seen
okay.
a four of them legs. I ain't seen them drop down yet.
Oh, okay. I was just curious.
And another sighting I had that wasn't a Bigfoot was what they call a dog man. It was sort of in the same area that the juvenile just described, and that sighting, it was on the west side of the interstate, and it was early in the morning, about 3 in the morning, and I was watching that tree line down through there, and my headlight, I could see into the tree line on the right side too. There was a semi coming that was running behind me, and that was it coming south. But way up ahead, there was cars coming north. But I'm watching that tree line there, and my lights was hitting that tree line real good all the way down through there. And I was thinking maybe I could spot a Bigfoot or something, right? And this thing looked like a giant wolf's head, and his body was built like a somebody on steroids working out. And his arms is probably about, I'd say about 6 foot tall, and his arms is touching the ground in front. And the back is kind of hunched over. Looked like it wasn't straight legs on the back, wasn't. And this thing come out of the tree line, and it's looking southbound along the cut grass alongside the interstate. I don't know if it's looking for deer. Could have been both, looking for deer or the traffic coming north, waiting for being a semi to cross. It would have been crossed or something. But I hit my brakes on the semi. You can hear my air brakes and the lights lit up all the woods down through there on the back of my truck, my trailer, and everything. And at that time, it backed up into the tree line, looked straight up at me in the cab as I was going by with my brakes on, and slowing down. And so I had to move on. So I didn't know that semi behind there couldn't stop. I know I could slow down a little bit. And That was my dog man side. That thing scared me. I was in the cab, man. It's something frightening to look at.
Well, very interesting,
The
Tony.
Bigfoot, the Bigfoot sightings, they look like I don't know whether they're just bright-eyed or it's the black in the eyes or what. They look like, sometimes look like they're in a trance almost. And then when they're running or walking, they like nobody's seen them. Maybe I didn't know I'd seen them, but it looked like that's their world they're in. I mean, it's like a different, like they're happy, but I don't know if they got like personality or whatever. But like they ain't got no fear. It's just real happy.
Sure. Well, listen.
That was
Go ahead.
2013 to 2015. I mean, at certain times there was just too many sites in too close an area. Just and some people didn't believe me, and I was discussing it, and I was coming down my house at one point, and I live alongside the interstate there, and there's all wooded area along the back of me, and creek, cow pastures, and big lakes and stuff like that behind me. And I just even the dog man, I just got I was real frightened, especially coming out night time. I'm always looking. I get up there towards town, and I'm shopping center. I get looking towards the edge of the woods. I know how fast they run. Never know if this is invasion or what. I've just seen too many of them in a short period of time.
Well,
it's like anxiety almost.
Yeah, it's not the normal, that's for sure.
Yep, I know a lot of people seen one or want to see one, but somebody's had this many sightings in a short period of time. I didn't know if they was migrating or what.
Yeah, it's hard
Seemed
saying.
to be like maybe an hour and a half. Just say west and south of the Appalachians, alongside the interstate, at 75 and I-85.
Yeah, good area for them.
I try to get out and hike there once in a while. I went through 2 Glock 45s, now I got a Glock 10 millimeter.
Well, definitely be careful being out there alone.
Yeah, I mostly got it for wild animals. I think there's way too intelligent to spot somebody with a gun and be out in the open and come face to face.
Right.
But you never know.
Absolutely. Well, listen, Tony, I appreciate your time.
No problem. I got I started a website there after I seen that first and try to, pinpoint, get all the information I can on what these things look like, and where people seen them at, and I try to share what I find out.
Right.
And well, it was basically just for me the website, and then it was on Facebook, and everybody started friend requesting wanting to join, and so I started accepting people on my website, and I've met people who showed me 3-toed prints. Cop, he lives in South Carolina. I met him. I met the Boy Scout troop leader up in Kentucky, and I got district attorneys, police officers, teachers, and coaches, and all walks of life. I got 3,000 people on my site so far. It's Appalachian Bigfoot Dogman research. It was Appalachian Bigfoot research. Now, after seeing one Dogman, that was enough for me. I changed. I just added one more word to it. So, I mean, I know they're real. I've seen one, so I added it to it.
All
Let
right.
everybody know that they are. I've heard about them. You know, when I've studied the Bigfoot. I've heard the dog man. I've listened to some YouTube videos, stories, sightings. But now that I see one, I mean, it's come full circle.
Right. Well,
And
listen.
I also have friends up here in Tennessee that they see the dog man often around cemeteries up here around Nashville. And then and I know a lady friend of mine, she said she sees both dog man and the Bigfoot on her property every once in a while. So I mean, I don't have the money to do it full time, or I would.
Sure. Well, listen, very interesting. I'm running out of time. So thank you for, sharing that.
Thanks for listening to this episode of Creek Devil. If you or anyone you know has had an encounter with these creatures, please contact us at williamjevning@yahoo.com. That's William, Jevning, @yahoo.com. All communication is confidential. Join us for another program next week. And until then, keep your eyes open out there.